have misplaced my tripod for my phone currently, so my apologies if the camera's a little shaky. I'm going to try to keep it as still as I can. Tattoos. Many people have them. Some people are thinking about getting them. Some people have no intention of ever getting them. I know that I do want to get one in my life at some point. I currently don't have any. There are a couple different ideas, at least, that I'm thinking for tattoos I might like to get in the future. And I've known for a while that I wanted to get one that was related to autism and or neurodiversity, both because my son was diagnosed with autism, for those of you that don't know, and I suspect that I may be on the spectrum myself, but I've never been diagnosed, because a lot of behaviors and things that he says and does and the way he acts reminds me of things that I know I did and felt, etc. when I was a kid. Very similar. So even though I've never been diagnosed, and yes, I could be wrong, but I do really strongly think that I might be on the spectrum to some degree. My son Logan has high functioning autism, which I won't get into the whole gray area of autism because people have a lot of different beliefs about many aspects of autism, and that's not the intention of this video, at least. If you want to hear about my thoughts on that in the future, let me know, but for right now, like I said, tattoos. So to digress, I've known for a while that I wanted to get something related to my son, and I couldn't think of what I wanted to get, and then I figured I wanted to get a tattoo that both honors him and the struggle I know he's had with autism, the struggle I know myself I've had, where even if I didn't have autism, I know I at least think and act differently than other people, and I know that may not equal autism, but again, without getting too sidetracked, I know that at least he has a diagnosis of high functioning autism, so I wanted to get a tattoo that reflected that. So, I'm sure that this is not the only company that does this, but I have heard of this company called Momentary Ink, and this video is not endorsed by them in any way. They have not paid me to do this or informed me to make this video or this review or anything like that, but I decided to get a temporary tattoo through this company. They have designs that you can request, or you can actually upload a picture and have them make a temporary tattoo out of it, which I thought was really cool. And in trying to decide what I wanted a possible future tattoo to look like, I had this idea for an infinity symbol that is kind of rainbowy to, I don't want to say celebrate, but to represent neurodiversity and autism, how it's a spectrum, hence like the rainbow, the colors. And I had heard that a sideways infinity symbol in like a rainbow spectrum colors was representative of autism. Now, obviously, before I go and get a tattoo, I like the idea of getting to try it out and wear it for a few days, see if you like it, that kind of thing. So I thought this would be a cool idea to try. So I have my little package from Momentary Ink, and I thought it would be actually a cool thing to make a YouTube video out of, try it out, show you guys what it looks like, see if I like it. If this is a tattoo that I like, it might be something that I go ahead and get in the future if I try it for a few days, and design-wise or size-wise or anything like that, I'm just kind of like, then I'll at least know that I got to try it without getting this tattoo permanently and discovering that it's not for me. So again, that is Momentary Ink is the name of the company. I'll put a link in the description of this video. I paid about, I want to say it was about $8 for the tattoo. I uploaded a picture. I decided I wanted it to be, I believe it was about 1.5 inches long. So I'll open the package. I'll show you what everything looks like. We will try it out before I go to bed, because it's evening as I film this. And we'll see what it looks like, and we'll take this one step at a time and go from there. This is what's inside from Momentary Ink. Little cardboard thing. as real as fake gets. That's the other side. So I'm going to open this up so you can see what it looks like. Okay, so here's everything that was inside. With my tattoo, they were having a 4th of July thing where they actually sent you a temporary firework tattoo in addition to the tattoo that I ordered. So obviously at this point July 4th is over, but what the heck, it's still July, so maybe I'll put this somewhere for fun, and we'll have fun with that. That's my tattoo right here. I'll show you that in a second. But this is directions on how to apply the tattoo. Little code there. I don't know if you guys would be able to use it as well when you see this video, but there it is if you're interested. And I do plan on posting a picture on Instagram. For anyone who hasn't followed my Instagram, I do frequently post pictures up on there too. So if I don't post my video for a while, go to Instagram and maybe you'll see some pictures of what's going on with me in the background. But anyway, instructions on how to apply the tattoo. If you've ever applied a temporary tattoo at all, I imagine it's the same. I'll come back to that in a second. They have a tattoo mattifier. That's so when you put your tattoo on, it doesn't look all shiny and like fake, like temporary tattoos that are like cheap tend to look. It tries to make it look matte, so it looks like a real tattoo, so you can kind of see what it would look like if it was real. So after your tattoo's dried, pour real teal mattifier over your design. Gently rub on the solution to remove shine. And you can see that. They also offer tattoo insurance, as they call it, where, God forbid, if they had shipped this to me and the order was damaged or it was wrong, I can let them know and they'll resend it again with some free extras, I guess. Obviously, my tattoo is fine, so that's great. But it's just nice to know that they stand behind their product like that. All right, so they have a YouTube video you can go to where you can watch them put on the tattoo, or you can read these instructions. So here is the tattoo I ordered. Now I know there's white around it, but according to the website, they had let me know that the white is like a I don't want to say invisible. What's the word I'm looking for? My brain's not working. La la la. The white will not show up when I put the tattoo on. And it does apply like an ordinary temporary tattoo would, as you would think. You put it on upside down with the design side down. You wet your arm, or it's going to go on my arm. Wherever it is, you wet the area and let it sit for a little bit. Make sure it's really wet, and the tattoo should rub off. You got to try not to move for an hour plus after applying. And when you go to put the mattifier on to make it less shiny, you don't just put this whole thing on. You only put as much as you need, because apparently if you apply too much, it will affect how the tattoo looks. And you also don't want to twist the area, because obviously if your skin really moves around, this is not a real tattoo, this is temporary. It should last a few days, but if you want it to last as long as it possibly can, you want to make sure you're not really screwing around with the area, otherwise it's going to rub off faster. And if you do decide for whatever reason you don't like it or you're done with it, they recommend how to remove it as well. So this is the tattoo I got to represent neurodiversity. I am going to try to put that on. It is going on the inside of my wrist. I know how I would like it to look, so I will show you what that looks like in just a minute, and we will see how it turns out. Okay, so there is my finished product. As you can see, the mattifier makes it look less shiny so that it does look like it's possibly a real tattoo on you.
One of the reasons they do say cut off the excess white from around the edges of the design is that you might not be able to tell, but I can tell a little bit where the edge of the design was, because even though it's not as shiny, it does look like there is a slight extra little clear edge around the tattoo, and the very edges of it had peeled a tiny bit of it, so very carefully I had taken away some of the little edges of it. So they say to cut off the excess white from around the edge of the design, so that way you don't get as much of that extra little border of that as much as possible. And obviously, if you know, I'm only doing this because I know it's going to last 2 or 3 days, but if you really stretch the skin and stuff, you're going to see the little cracks in the tattoo. I mean, it's a temporary tattoo after all, and it's going to stretch it. It's not going to last as long. It's not going to look as good. I don't expect this to be perfect because I know it's only temporary, but I did want to see what this would look like on my wrist, see if it's something that I like and something that I would want to have on a permanent basis. So overall, I'd say the colors look very vibrant and very nice. The size is right about what I would want the size to be. They did a very good job of printing it. Um, and I think Momentary Ink did a very good job with this temporary tattoo. So if there is a tattoo that you are thinking about getting in the future, and I would say if it's not too huge, I forget right now what the size restrictions are on what they can print for you, definitely give them a try. Their prices are very good, I think, all things considered. Try this for a few days and see if you like the design, and if so, you'll know that this is a tattoo that might be worth getting in the future. And I understand why they do say don't apply too much of the temp tat mattifier. I only opened it a little bit and some of it slipped out, so as you saw, I was just kind of dabbing it to make sure that it wasn't too much. But this is what it looks like, and I do like it. We'll see, over the next couple of days what I think, and I will try to give another update just to tell you in a few days what I thought and any final thoughts about Momentary Ink. But right now, I'd say it's a very cool process, was worth the money so far. We'll see how it looks in a few days, and then I can kind of give my final thoughts on the subject. But for right now, that is applying a temporary tattoo from Momentary Ink. Thanks, guys. I hope next few days I will like it just as much, and we'll see how things go.
Forgive Olivia down here. It's just that she doesn't sleep as well if she's not swaddled up with me, at least before bed. So that's why she's there. Anyway, I just wanted to give my final thoughts about Momentary Ink and my whole experience with my tattoo through them. By the third day, the day after the last picture, I had taken a shower that morning, and the tattoo was pretty much almost. I shouldn't say it was almost gone, but it was not looking great at that point, so I just kind of rubbed it off and kind of got rid of it. It might have lasted a little bit longer if I had done things a little bit differently. Um, for one thing, when I first had put the tattoo on, I put it on right before bedtime, and they say the first 24 hours, the tattoo is the most sensitive, so to speak. So that's on me for putting it on before bed, because I went to bed and I'm sure I tossed and turned and stuff rubbed against the tattoo area. And also, as I mentioned earlier in the video, there was the clear border around the edge of the design that I didn't trim as much. So I probably should have done that, because as you can see in the photos, the edge of where the clear border was before the design itself actually started, it started to peel and it got a little bit dirty because of clothing and I'm sure sweat and oil with the summer and everything like that. So because of that, the tattoo itself started to peel a tiny bit and stuff, and I'm sure I could have trimmed that a little bit. Now, if I trimmed it right up into the design, I wonder if instead of the edge of the tattoo peeling, where it was just the clear part, it would have had the design itself start peeling a little bit. I'm not sure. But like I said, I'm sure I could have taken care of it a little bit better. But the most important thing to me was not making it last absolutely as long as possible. I basically just wanted to see how is this going to look on my wrist so that, is this something I want for the rest of my life? Is this a tattoo that I actually do want to get? Or am I just going to look at it and be like, I'm not so crazy about that after all? Well, I really liked how it looked, so I don't know when I'm going to get it, but I think it is a tattoo that I am going to get on this wrist someday. So, was definitely worth the money. Momentary ink is a good way, I feel, to test out a specific design if you have one in mind to see what you think and how you might like it. The cost is really reasonable, I think, especially for a tattoo that you can design yourself. They have semi-permanent ink, which can last up to 2 weeks, the website had said. It's a little bottle of ink depending on what size you want the tattoo to look. I shouldn't point at my wrist, that's where I had mine, but wherever you want it, it's a little bottle of ink that like you can actually like kind of draw with it. It has a long tip and you kind of let that set, and then after a I think it's after an hour, the directions are on the website. You can kind of wash it away and it should develop and can stay up to 2 weeks. So if you just wanted a non-color, just black and white semi-permanent design that you wanted to try out, you can either have them make it for you or you can actually order a little bottle of ink and draw it on your body yourself, depending on what your drawing skills are like. But anyway, the cost is on their website they say that the cost is $11 to $24 depending on the size, and additional copies of the design are just $4 to $6. They also sell many designs. If you want to try a tattoo out and you're not sure what they want, they have many designs to choose from. And so if you don't have a specific design in mind, but you would like to try out a temporary tattoo, or for whatever reason you want temporary tattoos, sometimes people use them for, artwork or something like that because they want a specific, picture taken, whatever the reason is. Momentary Ink is one of the larger temporary tattoo companies online that you can try out. It's really not that expensive. Like I said, the cost is $11 to $24 depending on the size. And if I had really tried to take care of my personal temporary tattoo a little bit better, maybe it would have lasted a few more days, but it lasted about 3 days. It might also depend on where you put the tattoo on your body too. Mine was on my wrist. So obviously that part is going to get touched a lot and it's going to touch other things, and clothing is going to rub on it. And depending on when you try it, like if you try something like this in the wintertime where you're wearing longer clothing is going to rub up on it even more. If you try it in the summertime, there's a possibility that it's going to get wet or you're going to sweat or something like that. So different factors are obviously going to affect how long it stays. Overall, I'm really glad that I did try Momentary Ink. I thought that it was definitely worth the money. I had a discount code for my tattoo, so it cost me about $8. And again, definitely worth it. I really like how it came out. I thought that when the design first rubbed off, the colors were very vibrant and beautiful, so it allowed me to really capture what it would look like if I got it done for real. And I definitely think this is a tattoo that I do want in the future. I don't know when I would get it done. I have to look at artists. I have to see someone who does color tattoos. And I have to make sure they're going to be able to do what I want them to do. I don't know how much it's going to cost. This was a good experience to try and test it out and see what I thought. So if there's a tattoo that you're thinking of, at least one that's smaller than like a 9-inch by 9-inch size, like not like a huge chest piece that's going to go all across or something like that, then definitely give Momentary Ink a try. It's not a huge cost to try it out for a few days, See what you think. If it's a black and white tattoo, either get the semi-permanent ink and draw it on yourself, or if you can't draw or don't want to do it yourself, have Momentary Ink do the design for you. Just upload a picture of it and they'll print it up and do all the work for you, and all you have to do is put it on yourself. Thanks for watching this video. Hopefully you will watch my other videos if you haven't already. If you are on Instagram, feel free to check me out. My link is I'll put my link in the description of this video, and my link is also in the About section of my YouTube. I'm usually posting pictures up there every so often. I usually get a chance to a lot quicker than I can upload videos, so if you're ever curious, feel free to check that out. And I will have more videos coming up in the future, of course. There's still several other YouTube videos and ideas that I'd like to discuss, so feel free to stay tuned for those. Thanks again for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.